Cosmetics, and today we're doing a beauty masterclass on contouring, sculpting, and strobing. Those are three of the hottest looks used right now. You can see girls on the street with it, it's seen on the runways, so it's a very, very popular trend right now. So the first look we're going to be doing is contouring, and contouring is traditionally done with a powder. We have a contour palette over here. We have lighter shades, there's darker shades for highlight, and we use a bronze to make the cheekbones pop. So with contouring, we're looking to define the cheekbones, the nose, and then we use a highlight for the forehead and the chin. So contouring is made popular mainly by a star, Kim Kardashian. A lot of people liked her look, and after she was doing it for a while, it kind of flooded into the industry and everybody wanted to have that same look. So Felicia's going to be demonstrating a little bit of contouring. So first, she has it right at the bottom of the cheekbone. So if you put your lips together, kind of in a fish face, you'll have a defined line underneath your cheekbones. So that is where you want to put a darker powder. With this though, blending is the key. You don't want to have a sharp line on your face. So if you have a softer brush, you can always blend the makeup in as well. You can use a blush brush if you don't have a full brush set. Or you can also use a smaller feathered brush. So anything that can kind of blend and that doesn't have a hard surface is excellent for this look. Also with it, it's good to build color on top of color. So you don't want to go with a very dark shade or a very dark line in the beginning. It's better to go with lighter and then just keep on putting on the makeup on top of it. Also with contouring, you'd first want to do your base makeup, which is your foundation or your powder makeup. So contouring goes on top of your base makeup. So that's the contouring for the cheeks. And a lot of the times you can also contour your nose. And this will give you a straighter nose. It'll give you a little bit of an illusion. So with that, you're going to use two lines, kind of from the corner of your eye down to the base of the nose, and you're going to do that on both sides of your nose and blend the powder in as well. The same thing with the cheekbones. Blending is key because you don't want to look like you contoured your nose. And after you do your darker shades and have blended it in, then you can use a lighter color on the front side of your nose. So this will give you the illusion of a straighter nose, and the darker on the side of it will thin out your nose. So depending on how you want to do your face, you can also use that as well, and that's a very popular trend. On top of that, you can also add a shimmer. Even if you have a light shimmer, we have some light, kind of like a white shimmer, and that will get the light reflecting off your face, which will give you a beautiful glow. And also for the cheeks, you can use a light shimmer on there as well, or bronzer. So with that, you have your lighter shade to make things look straighter. You have a darker shade to kind of add definition to your face. And with a bronzer and a shimmer, it gives your face a pop. This is mainly because light will be reflecting off your face, and with that, it makes your cheekbones look higher, it makes your nose a little bit brighter. You can put that on your chin as well, and you can also put it on your forehead, and it'll kind of give you a natural glow. Since contouring is so much of the colors from darker to lighter, it's really nice to use a bronzer or to use a shimmer with that as well. And with the mica minerals, which is what most shimmers are made out of, and like I said, it helps the light reflect off your face, which gives you an airbrushed illusion. And with that, that kind of blends all the makeup and all the colors together, so it doesn't look like you have one dark line going to a lighter line. Also with contouring, sometimes people like to use a lighter shade along the jawline. This will give you a smaller chin. So if you have your darker shade in the cheekbone and put a little bit of a lighter shade at the bottom, that would also help lift your cheekbones even more. Is there any questions from the audience about any contouring questions? This is probably the one most asked for makeup look for the past 6 months. There's also powders that you can use underneath the eyes. You can use an HD powder, which is white, or a shade, 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, and that will also help bring out your cheekbones. Or you can use a yellow powder. And with the yellow powder, that comes in a loose form, and it also comes in a compact form. You put that underneath your eyes, and with the lighter effect under your eyes, it'll make your cheekbones pop as well. Thank you very much. So our second look that we're going to be doing is sculpting. And with sculpting, it is more of an intense look than a contour. So with sculpting, that's done with a cream. And with the cream, you can put it on your cheekbones as well. You can do it on your nose. And people also like to do it on the forehead. And that just gives you kind of a bronze look and makes your face more defined. So depending on your face shape, you can do different types of sculpting. If you want your higher cheekbones, you can do in the jawline. If you feel like your jawline is bigger, you can put a little bit of the stuff on the side there. You can also add it to your forehead, which adds definition to your face. So with sculpting, like I was saying, that is used with a cream. So again, you would put your foundation on first, and then put your cream on after. With sculpting, I would recommend not doing it with a powder. So if you wear a powder foundation, I would recommend either wearing a liquid foundation that day, or you could have no foundation on and then put a little bit of powder on over top. So sculpting is a more intense version of contouring. There's also sponges called beauty blenders. So they're a little bit differently shaped than a traditional sponge. You have a pointed tip on the top, and there's a flat side on the bottom. So they come in many different shapes. We have one that's kind of, looks like this kind of shape, and we have one that is an egg. So for the pointed part, you would want to use that in the cheekbones and blend with that into the face. So she's, like Felicia's demonstrating here, we have the cream on that looks heavy at the beginning, but again with this look, it's all about blending. You want yourself to look natural in the end. You want to look defined, but you don't want to look like you have too much makeup on your face. So I would suggest for something like sculpting, not to do it the first time you go out, you try to attempt the look, is the first time that you're doing it. So try it a couple times at home first in the mirror and see where it sits best on you. So for sculpting again, you can suck your face together and make a fish face, and that way that will emphasize the bottom of your cheekbones. You can start with a line, or you can put a little bit of color on your beauty blender and then smudge in. And again, just build the color on top. So also with sculpting, you can use the darker color on your forehead. And this will give you a very, very finished look as well. Some people like to put a little bit of a lighter color on the middle part of your forehead and then use a darker color on top. This looks beautiful when your hair is pulled back, like our model as well, and it'll just add a little bit of definition to your face. You can also use lighter shades of cream. You can use this as a concealer or also as a cream foundation. And once again, put it underneath your eyes, along your nose bridge, and on your chin. And this will help define your look when you have the cream contour on. This look is good for the daytime, it's good for evening. I would recommend sculpting more as an evening look, just because it's a little bit more of an intense look than the traditional contouring. If you have very oily skin, I would suggest you use a powder contour, because a lot of the creams are emollient base, which is oil base. So if you have oily skin, it may irritate your skin, and also if you find your skin oils out throughout the day, it just may look too shiny. And once again, with the sculpting look, you wouldn't be using a powder on top, so you would not be able to set your makeup on later on in that day. So here we have the finished look of the sculpt. Thank you. Our last look is a highlight or a strobe. This look is relatively new to fashion. I work a lot in runway fashion. This look is being used right now on the runways for summer and spring 2016. So it hasn't caught on as much in the industry yet as a look, but definitely it's a summer look, it's a spring look. And this will give you a very youthful glow, a very dewy look. With the strobing, you can use a liquid, you can use a cream, or you can use a shimmer. For the strobing, it is supposed to give you a glow effect. So once again, a look like this, you wouldn't do it with a contour. Because a contour is adding more definition to your face, a strobe is better for a flush face, and if you want a very fresh face. So wearing dark eye makeup wouldn't be recommended. I would recommend more metallics. If you're lighter skin, you can go with a silver or a beige. If you're brown, you can go with a gold. And if you're a little bit darker, a bronze or a beautiful copper would give a great effect. So also with all these looks, you want to be doing it depending on your skin tone, but strobing especially. So if you're a little bit fairer skin, I would suggest silver or beige. If you're mid-tone, I would suggest gold. And if you're darker, I would suggest bronze or copper. This is because if you're too light and you use a copper or gold on your skin, it's going to look patchy and it's not going to blend with your skin tone. As well as if you're too dark and you use a silver on your skin, it's going to look white on your skin and it's going to wash you out a bit. With strobing, a strobe light is a light used in fashion photography that gives you a burst of light. So the effect that you're creating with this is to look like your face constantly has a burst of light on it and your face is glowing. So strobing is the new name. It's also known as highlighting. So for highlighting and for strobing, you want to add a little bit on the chin, and this gives a focus. It gives you a smaller look to your chin. You can also add a little bit to the cheekbones, and that will also make your cheekbones pop and it'll give you a beautiful glow. This can be done with bronzer as well. For me, everyday makeup, sometimes all you need is a little bit of the product that you would use for strobing. You can use a liquid, as Felicia is demonstrating, or you can also use a shimmer powder. With the shimmer powder, you traditionally use a fan brush. And this is an example of a fan brush. It's a pretty thin brush, but the bristles are extremely soft. And this is perfect for picking up a shimmer makeup. If you use a stiff brush, you're going to find that the shimmer is going onto your skin in blotches. And that's why it's really good to have a fan brush. Or if you have any other brush, even a blush brush, please make sure it has soft bristles. And that way it'll be easier to blend it on your face so you don't come out with blotches. So you put it on your cheekbones, and this will kind of give you the illusion of a glowing face. Once again, we're using micro minerals, and with that, it gives you that airbrushed effect, and it gives you a very, very clean look. You can also put it on your forehead, anywhere that the sun would hit you. So with the highlighting and strobing, it's almost like bronzing where you want to give that sun-kissed glow effect. You can add a little bit onto the nose as well, the forehead, cheekbones, and the chin with strobing. You can also use a cream, which is a little bit harder. This is good if you have drier skin or for the winter time. And the same as the sculpting, you wouldn't really want to use it if your skin is oily because a lot of these products are emollient based, which is oil based, and it may irritate your skin. So with that, you can use these products like a blush. You can apply it with a brush, or you can apply it with your finger. And with that, you can just add it onto your cheekbones and rub it in. These products are actually great for eyeshadows as well. You can put a little bit on your eyes, you can put a little bit on your brow bone, and you can put a little bit on your nose as well. And this will give you a beautiful highlighted shimmer effect. You can mix liquid shimmers, which is one of these, also in with your foundation. So if you have your foundation, you can put a little bit on your hand, or if you can have tin foil or a dish, pour a little bit of your foundation into a dish, and then use a few droplets of the liquid shimmer in there, and that will give you a beautiful glow to your face. This is great for days that you don't want to wear a lot of makeup, but you want to look polished. If you're feeling tired that day, adding a little bit of liquid shimmer is fantastic to your makeup, and it's also excellent for strobing, because with that you want to have that illuminating look. So thank you very, very much for listening to our presentation from Chacha Cosmetics.